You can see in the finished product that everyone put their heart and soul into this project, as they do for every project. It's because of the relationships that are built with the clients and with the crews and with the head project managers, and it all translates into really good work.
When you first walked into this house, what potential did you see that others might have missed?
Well, I was the first one to see the house, and walking outside, I was super excited about the potential in the backyard with everything that the house already had. Then coming inside, I was like, oh, this is going to be a project. But I knew if we opened up some walls and kind of did a little bit of adjusting, that it could be like the entertainer's house that we'd always wanted. And that's where Matt comes in.
Yes. So she went looking at houses. They've been doing that for years, her and our daughter. She hadn't found the right house. I thought, they're never going to find a house. We're in a house. We'd kind of done everything too. We were done with that. I was going to retire there. We're there forever. And then she comes home and she says, I think I found one. So immediately I'm curious. And then I came here and I saw the house. And there's a frame in the Matterport, which is the pre-image that we do, that I'm in there, and the look is perfect. I'm kind of excited about it, but I know how much work it's going to take. And its look of dismay. I knew that the house had the right bones. I knew that the backyard was amazing, that there's a lot of money that goes into that, and money that we didn't have to spend if we moved here, and we could focus on the interior, but I also knew how much work it was going to take. Because that's what we do. It was pretty daunting. Honestly, I wanted Cherise to be happy. This house has been great, but it was not easy getting there, and I knew that from the beginning.
What was the most challenging part of this remodel, and did anything surprise you along the way?
That's a good question. What was the most challenging
The
part?
timeline was rough because for both of us, picking out basically like building a new house when you remodel everything top to bottom. So you don't realize how many decisions you have to make really quickly, because everything has to be ready when the contractor's ready and when the crews are ready. So picking out a million things within a space of a matter of a week or two was really stressful. And then on his side, just everything.
It's actually a little bit different because that's what we do. So we know what works, what doesn't work, and what we would choose as far as materials are concerned. But choosing the design part of that, Cherise actually did a really good job of, hey, this is what I like. Can you deliver on that? So she would send that to me, and then I would make all the micro decisions as to how to make that work. We didn't actually anticipate doing as much work as we did, which is standard at any remodel. There's always scope creep. I also wanted to surprise her as well. She thought this would take 4 to 6 months.
Which is standard for a remodel.
It is pretty standard.
That's probably even on the low end.
For what we did with moving load-bearing walls and getting engineer diagrams and getting this house up to code and everything, it takes a long
Closer
time.
to 6 months, probably.
But yeah, 6 months. I know what our crews are capable of, and I do a lot of the work myself as well, so that makes it pretty nice. But then we could rapid fire the design decisions on the fly. So I wanted to surprise her because I knew we were capable of doing it much quicker, but I was getting so many calls that I couldn't hide it from her. So eventually I relented, and I said, okay, well, I'm going to need you to be part of this, this, and this. We did a lot of pre-work in the design before we even purchased the house. We had the plans, the schematics, we had the basic choices on the flooring. Cherise chose the paint. So as we were going through and doing stuff.
We had people come measure before we even closed on the house.
Yeah, so there was a lot of pre-work, and if we do a lot of that pre-work before, then once the construction starts, we can anticipate that the cabinets are coming at this time. I did have to bribe our cabinet company to move up our cabinets by about a month and a half. They're exceptional, and they do a lot of work with us, so they acquiesced. There were things like we had a wall, and I committed to the cabinet company that I would build the walls to conform with the cabinets so that they could authorize it and do the final measure. But my wall installer installed the wall like 1.5 inches too far left. So we caught it quickly, and we got him to move the wall 1.5 inches right. As the general contractor, you know, I can do that. A lot of times you can't just move a wall to acquiesce to the cabinets. So that made the process a lot quicker, and then, yeah, it was a lot of work, but we got it done.
The result's amazing.
How did your experience with restoration assist you in this project?
We do a lot of restoration. As a licensed general contractor, as a licensed roofer, and even as a mold remediation contractor, we're experienced with bringing houses down to the studs if it's a water damage event, Sometimes we have to tear a house all the way down to the foundation and even remove the foundation if it's a significant fire event. And then we rebuild the whole thing. So it's tough enough to rebuild, but when you have to deconstruct and then rebuild, it's like deconstructing a Lego set and then putting that Lego set back together. It's pretty complex. We do that every day. When it comes to actually remodeling, it's just the latter part of it. We just get to remodel. It's really nice, and we've been doing this for over 5 years. We've worked on churches, we've worked on commercial projects. A lot of the houses we do are multi-million-dollar houses. So it was nice to be able to see those skills translate into our own home. We have that relationship with our subcontractors. We know how to communicate with them. We know they do good work, and so it made it a lot easier.
G3 puts a huge emphasis on relationships. How does that mindset show up in projects like this?
Well, you can see in the finished product that everyone put their heart and soul into this project, as they do for every project, I'm sure. It's because they care. It's because they have trust between their contractor and the homeowner. And it's because they see the amount of work and the quality of work that's expected with G3 construction. It really shows, and it's because of the relationships that are built with the clients and with the crews and with the head project managers, and it all translates into really good work.
Yeah. So much work today is transactional. Almost everything we do. It's a credit card payment, it's a transaction, you kind of pass like ships in the night. Work is done, they're gone. The better businesses actually try to have a relationship with the client. And we found that in Texas, because of the nature of how work is here, there's so much of it that we prefer the relationships. It changes everything we do. G3 stands for be grateful, be generous, be good. When it comes to being generous, we offer many options that most reconstruction contractors don't offer. We want to beautify. We want homeowners to be proud of the work that we've done. Obviously, we want the quality of work to be top-notch. It's construction, things always go wrong, but we care about their relationships, so it changes our reaction to when things do go wrong. We like the people we work with, and we become good friends. They send us Christmas cards, and we send Brittle out every Christmas, and they use us for other services that we do, and they become part of the family, if you will. Sounds a little trite, but it's true. We care about them.
If someone is considering buying and remodeling a home like this, what advice would you give them?
Make sure your marriage is in a good place.
So true. Try not to live in the house while it's happening.
Yes. Good advice is not to live through it, to be separated from it, and to be patient and know that there are going to be mistakes made, but they'll fix it. So you can't really gauge how it's going to be until the very end when everything has come together.
Mm-hmm. It's a process. It takes a village. And one example I like to use is, so Cherise grew up with brothers, 6 brothers, 1 sister. And so she is as tough as it gets. Grew up on a farm. Her parents really instilled a good work ethic in her, so she's tough. Several years ago, we ended up doing a small kitchen remodel. It took us, 2 weeks to do?
And a bathroom.
And a bathroom. Okay,
And
it might have
took
been
longer.
It took maybe
yes.
2 or 3 weeks to do, which is pretty fast considering.
Yes.
But it was really tough because we were still in the house, we were dealing with the workers and everything like that. And even Cherise, as tough as she is, after that 2 to 3 weeks, it was getting tough, emotionally draining. I thought of myself at that point, if it's that tough for her, what is it like to be a homeowner that's going from maybe 2 to 4 to 6 months? And a lot of that depends on the funds. A lot of times the insurance carrier doesn't have the money right away. And then there are steps in that process. The mortgage company will sometimes delay it. So I can empathize how difficult it is. But having a good contractor that you trust, understanding what it looks like, and being relatively patient, it usually takes a little bit longer than it should, but being willing to communicate and to get through the hurdles that come along the way help out quite a bit, especially if contractors care, because they'll listen and you'll come up with a better solution.
How was your experience working with G3, and what are your favorite parts of the house?
I would have to say that the glass sliding door that opens all the way up is my absolute favorite part. It's really cool that I had this vision of having a huge door that opens all the way up, and they were able to make it a reality for me, and I love it. We use it all the time. The other thing I love is the flooring. I knew exactly what I wanted, and they were able to make that happen pretty quickly and throughout the entire house. We have not had any problems with it. It looks gorgeous. It's easy to keep clean. It doesn't show dirt. And they were able to make transitions into every room because this house is not at all square. It's got so many angles and just make it look really, really nice. So those are probably my two favorite things. But really everything, everyone is impressed by the work. It all came together nice. It looks like a brand new house. And there's very few things that we would change. I think pretty much almost everything. We just are super happy.
And I'm going to add something. This is a 3,300 square foot house. It's not much larger than our last house, but when we pulled out these walls, and just pulling out walls and redoing the framing, especially when it's load bearing and there's plumbing and electrical in the walls, we have to relocate all of that. We did it up in the upstairs bathroom. Those simple things opened up the space, made it feel like it's a much larger house and more cozy, so we can use the space more efficiently. We can entertain a little bit better, and Cherise did a great job choosing those designs and colors and everything so that it actually looks nice, warm, and inviting.
When G3 is your GC, it's more than work.